going to be doing a little bit of a series, a little bit of a filming event here in my home, in my office, all by myself. But I'm going to be filming a series all about the colonoscopy and ileoscopy that I just had done for my Crohn's disease. If you don't know what Crohn's disease is and you are new to this channel, I have an autoimmune illness that basically my body doesn't realize my intestines are their own, and so it thinks that it has to get rid of them. Lots of fun, obviously. I'm 25 now. I've been living with this disease since I was 11, so I've had lots of complications, lots of fun times, so I share it through YouTube. Anyway, we are going to be doing a little bit of a series about the scopes that I had done, just because it is a unique situation when you have an ostomy bag and all these other things going on, and you also have not gotten a scope done in a really long time. I'm kind of a really bad patient. Anyway, I believe this is going to be a 4-part video, maybe 5. You guys know I can talk forever, so we'll see what happens. But for this first video, I'm going to tell you why I actually went back to a doctor to figure out what was going on with me. And in the following videos, I will talk about the actual scope itself and the results and what the plan is in the future. So definitely look out for those videos. They will be up in the next few days, next few weeks, whatever I decide on. So yeah, to give you the quickest backstory, let me get comfy because you know this is going to be an ordeal. So I have my small intestine and it comes down to my ileum, which is kind of the last part of your small intestine. And the ileum is what my ostomy is made out of, what my stoma is made out of, and obviously the bag. Then I also have about 2/3 of my colon just hanging out inside of me. It hasn't done anything for years. It's essentially useless. It's a pain in the ass. No joke intended, but like actually is. Even since I had surgery for my ostomy and I felt so much better, the rectum area has always been painful. It's never gone away, but it's something that it's not a big deal. I've become used to it. It's nothing. And the reason that it still hurts is because in my rectum, I have a fairly bad stricture. And this stricture has been the most major complication of my whole disease journey. It has been the reason why nothing has worked right for me. It's the reason why when I had a resection done just to get rid of some bad spots everywhere else, I essentially wound up bursting because as soon as I started eating, everything was backing up inside of me from the stricture. So all of those connections they made elsewhere burst open. And I'm fine with it. I have told my doctors, everyone that I've gone to, that no, I have no intention of reversing my ostomy because it has made me feel so much better. Now, because I still have most of my colon and the rest of my colon seems to be behaving. It's not, it's not fabulous, but it's just hanging out. There's no major inflamed. There are no inflamed spots that are in my colon. It's just a stricture at the end. I don't want to get my colon taken out just because it's annoying. If it's viable intestine, no, I'll keep it because I know that there is always a chance things could get worse, or maybe down the road I'm gonna need this colon, who knows? Unfortunately, the colon still produces quite a bit of mucus. As much as I'd like to say I don't go to the bathroom anymore, I kinda do, because I have to get rid of this gross mucus. Hi, I'm Maggie, and I like to tell embarrassing stories about myself online. No, but that is just the reality. I have to get this mucus out of my colon to feel good, but also not burst my colon. So that means that this stricture had to be dilated over and over and over again when I was in my late teens, early 20s. They would go in, they would use this little balloon thing, blow it up as it was in the stricture to stretch it out. And that would help me be able to pass the mucus easily. The problem is the stricture is no, I do not want to be dilated. So about a week after my stricture is dilated, it shrinks right back up. So I had a really wonderful surgeon when I was younger, and I love him. He is just such a nice guy, and I will forever be thankful to him, even though I get the feeling he thinks that he feels bad that he had to give me an ostomy. And like 100% it made my life way better. If I didn't have one, if he didn't wind up giving me one, I'm pretty sure that I would be still very, very sick. So anyway, the last time that I was dilated was when I actually first met Zach. And Zach and I have been together for 6 years now. So if that gives you an idea, I haven't had a colonoscopy, ileoscopy, dilation for 6 years. That's a big no-no in the Crohn's community. I believe the maximum is 5 years, so I just like living on the edge, you know how it is. The last time that I was dilated, I could tell that my surgeon was like not playing around. He has dealt with this stricture so many times, so he went in there and he really dilated. He was not playing. He was super aggressive and it was awful afterwards. I was in so much pain and they wound up giving me pain meds and I felt like I died, but my stricture was dilated and it was like he healed it, he scarred it open. Does that make sense? It stayed open for a really long time, which meant that I didn't have to go back for dilations every 3 or 4 months like I was before. Fast forward to today. Here I am, 25. I think I was 19 at the time of my last dilation. So I'm 25. The last maybe 6 months to a year, I have been noticeably feeling worse. And something I've always noticed about my progression of Crohn's disease is that it is so slow that it is hard for me to recognize that it's happening. So I like don't believe that it's like what am I trying to say? I don't believe it, things are getting worse. I'm like, oh, that was a fluke feeling, and then it happens again. I'm like, oh, another fluke feeling, and then soon enough it's happening daily and I'm not registering that like, hey, that's probably your Crohn's creeping on in. The symptoms that I've been having is just basically hardcore fatigue, although we found out that like I'm vitamin D deficient, which everybody is. So I started taking vitamin D, taking iron, and I actually feel quite a bit better when I take it. I also reduced my schedule at work, so that helps a ton as well. I've also been getting very bloated around when I eat, which made me a little bit worried that something was going on with my small intestine. I get very bloated, and I've also, as you guys have seen in past videos, I've been dealing with blockages, which I have never dealt with before. Food was getting stuck in my small intestine and I would be in severe pain until it passed. It would pass, but it concerned me that like things like broccoli, which I've never had an issue with. Yes, I know a lot of people with ostomies avoid those kinds of things because like it's a big no-no, people get blockages, but it's something that I never dealt with personally. So it just concerned me that now suddenly, like, why is this happening? Why am I now just getting blockages 7-8 years into my ostomy having? I also have been having high output ostomy issues, which I've never really dealt with either, unless I've had like a GI bug or whatever. My bag will out of nowhere fill up like crazy and I don't know why. I haven't eaten anything, you know, out of the ordinary, nothing that would have gone bad, nothing that's contaminated. It's really strange, but it fills up so quickly out of nowhere. So like my ostomy is just on 2 opposite spectrums and I just want to find the happy medium again that I've had for so long. I've also been getting dehydrated, obviously, very quickly, which is, you know, it's easy to get dehydrated with an ostomy, but it happens like that. Like Zach and my dad and I were in DC the other day walking around and I could feel it coming on and I kept saying to Zach, like, I need water now, unless you want me to drop dead. I had to go find a place and I had to get something to drink because it came on like in an hour. I had been ignoring these symptoms for too long, but it says something when I say I need to go see a doctor. So I decided to get an IBD specialist on board and he is wonderful and that's how I wound up going to get some scopes done, because he wanted to see what was going on as well. And now that I've already filmed 14 minutes and definitely shouldn't have talked this long, I'm going to allude you to the next video where I talk about the prep for my scopes that I had done. I want to go a little bit more in depth because my situation on how I got my scopes done is just a little bit different, and might help some of you guys if you are living with an ostomy or, you know, similar situation. So I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you want to subscribe, feel free to. The little thingy is down below, and like this video if you liked it. Alright guys, I will see you in the next. Bye.